Linebacker Shaq Barrett is slightly excited about his new quarterback is a slight understatement. He said, quote, "I think with Brady, it just makes us an automatic contender for the Super Bowl." Nick, Shaq Barrett's comments on the Bucs Super Bowl chances are blank.
Manning-esque, and I'll explain that in just a moment. All my answers today kind of follow a theme if you follow along with them. But Manning-esque, what I mean is this. Shaq Barrett won a Super Bowl once with Peyton Manning in his final year in the league, in a year where Manning was downright awful, 9 touchdowns, 17 picks, but they were able to overcome that because of a great defense and excellent supporting cast. And if the Bucs are going to win the Super Bowl, it's going to be because they are able to overcome what could be the final year of Tom Brady's career, a clearly deteriorating player. So Shaq Barrett has firsthand experience on how to do this. And if they are going to do it, Brian Westbrook, it's going to have to be Manning-esque, the way the 2015 Broncos were able to do it.
You know, I think Barrett's comments are a bit premature. I think anytime you add the GOAT, of course, you're going to be much better having Tom Brady than Jameis Winston, who threw 30 interceptions last season. But the only problem is that you won't have, as far as Tom Brady won't have, the same advantage of playing against a weak AFC East competition. Here's the thing. When you talk about that NFC South, you have 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks in Matt Ryan and Drew Brees. You have the Saints as Super Bowl contenders as well. And then when you look at the conference, you also have the 49ers, you have Seattle, you have the Packers, you have the Eagles. You have a bunch of teams that I have Super Bowl aspirations, very good football teams. To me, I think they have a good team down there in Tampa Bay, but they have to gel together, and to be able to beat some of the teams in their own division and in their conference, I think that's a tall order.
Jen, I went with the man in the mirror, and I know I'm supposed to be pro Tom Brady everything, including the puns on the T-shirts, but I'm not this time. I agree with Nick that it has to be Tampa Bay's defense that gets it done. Their rushing defense just bonkers. Yards per game first, yards per rush first. My favorite stat, stuff percentage. Rushes for negative yards and 10-yard rushes, which we need to work on the marketing of this. Dusty called it big yardage plays. They're also first in that, but you can't have stuff percentage in big yardage. So, Nick, I agree with you. It's going to be the defense for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
By the way, guys, Bucs with the 5th best odds to win this Super Bowl this year. On to reigning MVP Lamar Jackson. How do you follow up on an MVP season on a splashy, head-turning, human highlight reel year? How about doing it again? Jay Glazer says, I don't see anyone catching up to Lamar. Nick, action Jackson's ceiling following his MVP season is blank.
Westbrook-esque, but I don't mean Brian Westbrook.
Oh, nice.
I mean Russell Westbrook, and here's what I'm talking about. Russell Westbrook averaged a triple-double. First person that had done that in 40 years in the NBA, 50 years in the NBA, and he runs away with the MVP, getting 69 first-place votes. The very next year, he does the exact same thing, but because his team wasn't successful in the playoffs, he wasn't great in the playoffs, and we had just seen it, he got 0 first-place votes. So even if Lamar duplicates his on-field regular season success, I feel like the voters won't give him the credit he was given last year.